Hi again, and welcome to the tutorial. We're going to take a quick look at using the Fruity Peak controller to create a sidechain compression type effect with bass and drums. To begin, I want to briefly explain sidechain compression. Sidechain compression basically means linking a compressor to a modulator and therefore modulating the compression. Usually this is used for bass and drums, in which a kick drum and a bass line work together and avoid stepping on top of each other. The sidechain compression is put on the bass line and is linked to the kick so that when the bass drum hits, the compression kicks in and lowers the volume of the bass line for that beat and then brings it back in afterwards. This helps us when we have a kick and a bass to take up the same frequency and space. So what we need to do is load a kick and a bass line, which I've already done. I've placed the kick on channel 1 and the bass on channel 2 in the mixer and added a snare and hi-hat. I've also got the tempo set at 100 beats per minute. I'll go ahead and play the unaffected sound so that you can hear how the bass line and the kick step on top of each other. So you can see how this might cause a problem in our mix, seeing as how the bass and the kick both take up the same frequency space and therefore end up sounding kind of muddy. But what we can do to remedy this is to add the peak controller to the kick drum. So I'll go ahead and open that up here in the mixer. And we've already got the kick selected, so we'll go down here and add the peak controller. And always remember to unmute this. I'll show you why here shortly as we move along, but always make sure you unmute that if you want the instrument that it's on, in this case the kick, to continue to sound through. And then what we're going to do is we're going to link the peak controller to the volume slider here for the bass. So we'll just right click that, go down to link controller, and under internal controller we're going to select peak, and then under mapping formula we want to select inverted. Go ahead and accept that. And I'll also show you why we're choosing inverted. Let's go ahead and play around with this. I'm going to be adjusting the bass and tension here to K. And as we go through here, I'm going to be adjusting these two settings, and you'll see how we can get this bass line to duck the kick. So as you can see in that example, we got kind of a pulsing effect as the bass ducked the kick. You'll need to play around with the settings depending on the sounds that you're using, but this is just to show you the process. But you notice when I hit that mute switch there, it went ahead and took the bass drum out of the equation, but still kept with that pumping kind of effect there. That might be kind of neat to use to create rhythms and stuff like that. Also, something that we can do, remember I was telling you to choose inverted when you chose the option here. Let's go ahead and choose default and see, go back to link controller, under mapping formula we'll choose default. And then what this is going to do is actually have the bass pulse in time with the kick drum. So I'll go ahead and play that and you'll hear what I'm talking about. So again, that might be something kind of cool to play around with to try to work out some rhythms and stuff like that. And again, you don't have to just link this to the volume slider. You can link this to other editable parameters in the program. So a lot of cool stuff that you can do with it, and the key is just to experiment and see what you can come up with. But I want to thank you again for watching, and I'll see you next time.